Hello, I'm Deborah Sword. I want to give you three conflict competencies to help you when a conflict leaves you with hurt feelings. These three are different than common solutions for hurt feelings, such as forgiving or apologizing. Those help you sort out where blame lies for hurt feelings. But even if you're 100% at fault, conflict can hurt your feelings. Conflict competencies are like no fault insurance because you should have the ability to manage your hurt feelings from conflict, no matter who's to blame. And frankly, blaming isn't a conflict competence. So here are the three conflict competencies to consider when you have hurt feelings that come with conflict. The first conflict competency: you decide if the way you deal with hurt feelings is working for you or not. Are you still dealing with hurt the way you learned when you were young? Your perspective on hurt feelings comes from the society and culture you grew up in, what you were taught, and from your lived experiences. Sometimes it's like pretending you're okay. Uh, Nothing happened here, nothing to see, folks. Or maybe the norm in your culture or upbringing was to apologize no matter how you felt or to seek vengeance. The key point is it's your decision. After this episode, listen to episode 125 on what it means to own your perspective. And please subscribe so you get notice of new episodes. And I'll put those episodes in the show notes. So, what you resent, who you blame, and how you believe the conflict happened, those are judgments based on your perspective. Perhaps you've had a script, such as when you and someone, let's use the name Chris, you and Chris are trying to solve a problem, and you say, "But you said," and Chris says, "No, I didn't. I said," and soon you and Chris are no longer solving the problem. Instead, you're arguing over who said what in which order. Then you or Chris try to end it by saying, "Well, that's your opinion." And yes, perspectives are opinions. In every conflict, likely everyone feels misunderstood to some extent. Owning your conflict is accepting that you may not be 100% right, or the victim, or without some responsibility. And yes, some conflicts are unprovoked. How you manage feeling hurt, even when you're 100% not to blame, is the same as when you have shared responsibility. And that's because blaming is not a conflict competency. So, what do you do? Show curiosity. Ask Chris, "I'm interested in what you think my role is in how this conflict happened. Help me understand what happened from your perspective." If Chris says, for example, "Well, I think you're trying to bully me," and you're okay with that reputation, well, Chris feels heard and you have the information. But if you can't imagine anyone would see you the way Chris does, you can reflect on the gap between how you believe you show up and how Chris experiences you. Again, you decide to accept or reject feedback because the first conflict competency is considering how you handle your hurt feelings now and if that approach gets you the quality relationships you want. The second conflict competency: you can accept that Chris's actions and words made sense to Chris, or that it wasn't the intention, or even if it was deliberate, you can still decide to see Chris's humanity. Perspectives are opinions that guide you whether you can or should forgive, forget, apologize, demand an apology, but guides are guides, not rules. Or you can decide Chris did this and you won't think about it ever again. To which I say, yeah, right. It's going to be at the back of your mind. Or you can pretend to forgive Chris while stewing in your hurt or resentment. Or you can decide that Chris can never be forgiven. It hurts so much. Total betrayal, worthy of perpetual condemnation, and Chris should suffer for hurting you. Whatever option you opt for is an opinion about how you want to show up. You judge the consequences of your reputation and act to achieve the quality of relationships you want. The third conflict competency: listen without defending yourself or telling the other person they're wrong. For example, when Chris finishes, say thank you. Chris gave you feedback on how you're seen. When you're able to listen non defensively, you earn time to assert yourself, to have your hurt feelings acknowledged. So, after this episode, listen to episode 118 on how to stay non defensive. And please subscribe so you get notices of new episodes. So, again, show curiosity, stay non defensive, such as rather than rehash our different versions in which you see me at fault, I suggest we each own our contribution to the misunderstanding and work on the problem we're here to solve. So, in summary, conflict competency one, you own the way you decide to manage your hurt feelings. It may not be the way you grew up with. Maybe you want to reconsider. The second conflict competency: you accept that perspectives are opinions, so blame is not a conflict competency. And the third, you assert yourself non defensively because of conflict competency one and two. Thank you for listening. I hope you found this useful. Like it, share it. Please subscribe, leave a comment. We love to hear from you. Thank you.